गंधाविक गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्रील गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट महाभगवत श्रील गोरक्षरस बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट श्रील सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्रील जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूपानु गौड़िया गुरु वर्ग की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शार गोसाई प्रभु की जाय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय। नाम चय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाय की जाय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जाय। जय श्रील भक्ति विज्ञान भारती गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय श्रील भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय श्रील भक्ति दयित माधव गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय श्रील भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय श्रील भक्ति भक्ति रक्षक जय नित्यल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिष्मा श्रील भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। तदीय शुभ तिरुभाव तिथि की jai. Jai Shri all the associates of Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, and all the disciples and followers of those associates ki jai. Jai Shri Chaturmasya Vrat ki jai, Vrat Palankari Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Tividito Gaudiya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Varati Mingilo Daragatan Udrita Jiva Niman Krishna Prema Sudabdi Kahana Sukhang Pradat Prabhung Tang Bhaje. This verse was written by Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Let's read the translation. I'll read this one. So, it says, I serve my Lord, who is known as Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Within the Gaudiya Sampradaya's lineage of gurus, he shines like the sun in the morning sky. Through the Sankirtan of Sriman Mahaprabhu, he rescues the souls engulfed within the belly of the Timingila of illusionism of Mayavad. and bestows upon them the ecstasy of swimming in the nectarian ocean of divine love for Krishna. Namo Gora Kishoraya Bhaktavadhutamurtaye Gaurangri Parmabhringaya Radha Bhava Nishevine. I offer my obeisance unto the divine. This is also written by Śrīla Gosvāmī Mahārāja, all these verses that we're reading right now. I offer my obeisance unto the divine form of the devotee Avadut, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who is a honeybee at Shri Gaurasundar's lotus feet and a servant of Srimati Radharani, imbued with deep loving attachment. Vande Bhakti Vinorangshi Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radharasa Sudha Nidhim. I offer my obeisance unto Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, the embodiment of Sri Gaurasundar's potency. He is the king of all knowers of the scriptures of pure devotion, and an ocean of the nectar of devotion to Srimati Radharani. Gauravrajashritashair Vaishnavair Vandya Vigraham Jagannatha Prabhum Vande Premabdhim Vriddha Vaishnavam. I offer my obeisance unto my Lord, the ocean of divine love, Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. He is the senior-most devotee and worshipped by all who have taken shelter of Sri Navadip Dham and Sri Vrajatam. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindayai Tulsidevai Priyayai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, let's recite this pranam mantra for Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja. I've never sung it before, so how does this go? Well, what's the meter for this? Let's see. Okay, got it. Devang devyatanum suchandavadanam palarka chelanchitam Sandranandapuram Sareka Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Shri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Varam Vande Tang Shubhadang Mareka Sharanam Nyasishvaram Śrīdharam. So the translation is, I offer my obeisance unto my Lord, Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja, whose speech is most pleasing, whose divine form is adorned with garments the color of the newly risen sun, who is an abode of intense ecstatic devotion, who is the sadhu's sole choice, who is an ocean of renunciation and knowledge, who is a treasure house of perfect conclusions, who is resplendent with pure devotion, who is the best of Srila Saraswati Thakur's followers, who is the giver of all good, who is the leading general of the Tridandi sannyasis, and who is my sole shelter. Jai Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Ah, beautiful pranam. Okay, so Dandavat pranams, all devotees. Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Nitai Mukeshji, Champak Mataji, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, and everybody on YouTube and Facebook. Wow, a lot of devotees today. 13 devotees on YouTube and Facebook. I forgot to open up Restream, so I'm missing a lot of the comments. So I don't actually know who's all there yet. Yeah, I can open up on YouTube to see if anybody wrote comments here. But anyways, the devotees who normally join Dandavat Pranams, like Indira Mataji, Raseshwari Mataji, Krishna Mai Didi, and Rohini Nandan Prabhu, and who else? Ganga Mataji, Patita Pavani Didi, Haribo, and oh God, please forgive me if I'm missing your name. I'm just going off by memory right now. But anyways, Dandavat Pranams. And also on Facebook, lots of times, I'm not sure if Sripad Bhaktivedanta Sajan Maharaj is there, Mahi Bharat Prabhu, whoever is there, on Shash Sharmaji, everybody there, Dandavat Pranams. Now, if you write comments, I'll see it. I just forgot to open up Restream before, so now but yeah. All right. So I thought today what we could do, since we're doing this Shikshashtak program, and we are on verse 2 now, I thought maybe we could read the Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja's commentary on verse 2 of Shikshashtak, and then we're going to read a biography about Śrīla Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja. I don't know who wrote it, actually, but I found it on this website. I think it's sridharavani.com, is it? I'm just checking really quick. Yeah, it's sridharavani.com. And they have a long biography. It'll probably take us 2 days to read. And I didn't read it, but I was just like scrolling through, and there's lots of remembrances from him, like his own remembrances. And so it looked pretty authoritative just from the skim I did of it. So yeah, I thought that would be, because usually on this day we read Srila Bhakti Vigyan, we read from My Beloved Masters by Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and sometimes we read my Gurudev's Katha. But we've done that many times now, and I just thought it'd be interesting to I don't know, to read his biography, learn something more about Śrīla Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja. I've never read it, as I said. So first, let's read where is it? I'm just going to open it up. Golden Volcano of Divine Love. Oh, and one more thing. At the end of our program, so we've been now singing, going through the verses in the Pratam Jam Sadhan. So yeah, we've been going through that every day at the end of our program for 2 weeks now. And now today on Amavasya, we are going to commence the Dutiya Yam Sadhan. And so I prepared that all on my website, Vine of Devotion. I made a new link there also. If you go to vineofdevotion.com, you'll see at the top of the screen, there it says Ashtayam Sadhan. And there I have the Pratam Jam Sadhan and the Dvitiya Yam Sadhan, which we'll be going through every day now for the next, until Purnima, until Baladev Purnima. Okay. So just opening up Golden Volcano of Divine Love. All right. The unlimited names of God. Nam namakari bahuda nija sarva shaktis. Tatrarpita niyamita smarane nakala. Etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi. Durdaiva midrishamiha janina nuraga. O my Lord, your holy name bestows auspiciousness upon all, and you have unlimited names, such as Krishna and Govinda, by which you reveal yourself. In your many holy names, you have kindly invested all your transcendental potency. And in chanting these names, there are no strict rules concerning time or place. Out of your causeless mercy, you have descended in the form of divine sound. But my great misfortune is that I have no love for your holy name. Illumination. Here it is said, O my Lord, you have revealed the chanting of your holy names, and all your power has been invested within those names. Both the holy name of Krishna and its potency are eternal. All potencies or energies are found within the holy name of Krishna. And there is no particular time or place which has been fixed for chanting the name. It is not that one can only chant in the morning, or only after taking bath, or only after going to a holy place. There are no such conditions. One may go on chanting the holy name of Krishna anytime, anywhere, and in any circumstance. In this verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, O Krishna, you have given a most sublime opportunity to all. You are so infinitely gracious that you have given us the service of your holy name, Nam Bhajan. Still, my misfortune is the worst. I don't find any earnest desire within me to take the name. I have no faith, no love, no tendency to take the name. I do not find any innate hankering to chant the name. What can I do? This is the second of Sriman Mahaprabhu's 8 precepts. He says, O Lord, you have given everything from your side to lift me up from this mundane world of relativity. From your side, you have given me everything to lift me up from this mundane world of relativity. Your attempt to deliver me is so magnanimous that all you require from me is a little cooperation and accepting your grace. But I turn a deaf ear to your magnanimous call. O Lord, I am hopeless. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us great hope in the first verse of his Shikshashtak, or 8 precepts. He explains that the chanting of the holy name of Krishna, when properly undertaken, may progress step by step, revealing 7 consequences. The first effect is the cleansing of consciousness. The second is liberation from all mundane relativity. As the third effect, positive goodness awakens within our heart and takes us to Vrindavan. And then, under the guidance of the Swarup Shakti, the Lord's internal energy Yoga Maya, we come to the Vadu conception that we are potency. We are to serve Krishna unconditionally. Vadu means ras. Vadu means that ras, which gives full connection with the Lord. It's madhur ras. And isn't it the positive one, the third effect, positive goodness? This is the stage of ruchi. And ruchi is the first positive thing. And before ruchi, nishta, it's, we're removing all the filth, all the anarthas, and then we become very, very steady like that. But then finally, at the third effect, positive goodness, this is ruchi. This positive goodness awakens within our heart and takes us to Vrindavan. And then under the guidance of the Surup Shakti, the Lord's internal energy, we come to the Vadu conception. This is Asakti. We are potency, and we are to serve Krishna unconditionally. This is the verse Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram also in Shikshashtra. Okay, so Vadu means that rasa which gives full connection with the Lord, Madhuras. Now we come to Bhav, ecstatic ocean of joy. After attaining that stage, what are the other consequences that come? First is the external symptoms of Bhav. One becomes a particle in the ocean of joy, and that joy is not stale or static, but ever new and dynamic. It is purifying to the utmost. Although we are allowed to keep our individual conception, still we feel that all parts of our existence become purified to the utmost when we take the name. And this will not only affect me, but all who are connected with this Nam Sankirtan. They will experience mass conversion, mass purification, the utmost purification. These are the sevenfold results of chanting the holy name. After mentioning this thesis in his first verse, Mahaprabhu now gives the antithesis in the second verse. When such great hope is there in the holy name, why are we having so much trouble? Where is the difficulty? Why do we not realize the advantage of the magnanimous sanction of divinity found in the holy name? Inestimable grace is coming from Krishna's side. He has given us so many opportunities with the least requirement from our side. We must have some taste, some earnestness to accept the holy name. But there's the difficulty. We have none. So what hope can we have? How can we attain it? We may be approaching the holy name formally, but not from the core of our hearts. So by what process can we really benefit and make progress? The third verse answers this question. Turnarapi sunichena. Although one may feel that he does not have the minimum required deposit to receive the grant, still it is not a hopeless case. The very nature of this realization takes him to the conception of humility. When one begins to practice devotion towards the infinite Lord, he cannot but feel that in relation to the infinite, there is nothing of value in himself. He thinks, I have nothing to give in return. Even the minimum requirement for the Lord's grace is absent in me. That takes him to the conception that I have no qualification. I am completely empty. A devotee feels within his heart that he is not only unfit, but too despicable for the Lord's service. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I am lower than a worm in stool, and more sinful than Jagai and Madhai. Jagai Madhai hoite mui she papishta, Purisher kita hoite mui she laghishta. We should not be discouraged when we think we have not even the least bit of merit which is required for the service of the holy name of Krishna. For this kind of consciousness is natural for a devotee. At the same time, we must guard ourselves from an insincere conception of our own devotion. This is our enemy. I'm just going to reread that. At the same time, we must guard ourselves from an insincere conception of our own devotion. This is our enemy. To think, I do not have the least liking or taste for the Lord. This is all right to think like that. But to think, I have some taste, some earnestness, I have some devotion to the Lord. This kind of thinking is dangerous. The egoistic world. If we are going to have a connection with the infinite, we must be fully empty. Śrīla Gosvāmī Mahārāja would say, Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Swami Maharaj, Śrīla Prabhupada, he made himself so empty of any other desire but to follow the order of his guru that Krishna had no choice but to descend and give him his full. Krishna had no alternative. Krishna had to. because he made himself so empty of any other desire but to fulfill the order of his Guru. So if we're going to have a connection with the infinite, we must be fully empty. Our self-abnegation must be complete. Worldly attainment is a negative thing, and we must withdraw from it. We must withdraw from it completely. We should think, I am nothing. I have no qualifications for being accepted or used in the service of the Lord. I am completely unfit. We must completely withdraw from the egoistic world and allow ourselves to be captured by Yogamaya, the Lord's internal energy. A slave has no position. The whole position is with the master. Everything is his. Realizing this is our real qualification. As soon as we assert that we have some qualifications, that's when our difficulties begin. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself says, this is Mahaprabhu himself, he's saying, I don't find a trace of love of Krishna within my heart. Na prema gandosti darapi me haro. This is the standard of humility. And that feeling must be sincere. It must not be an imitation. We must be careful. Didn't somebody once say to Srila Prabhupada, they said, oh, Srila Prabhupada, I am the most fallen. And Srila Prabhupada said, you are not the most anything. So, yes, we have to be, it must not be an imitation. It has to be sincere humility, natural humility, not just something that we say without actually feeling it. We must be careful. We must not venture to imitate the highest devotees. To genuinely feel, to conceive that we possess nothing and that everything is his. That is the only qualification for chanting the holy name of Krishna. Jai. This is just reminding, I was just spent the morning in Śrīla Govinda Goswami Maharaj's, as an ashram here in Mayapur, and just remembering Śrīla Govinda Goswami Maharaj would always say, sometimes he'd say Gaur Nitai, or sometimes he'd say Hari Guru and Vaishnava. I think I've seen it in two different places, but he'd say that they are Patita Pavan. They are deliverers, they purify the fallen, but they are not Kapati Pavan. They aren't deliverers of the deceitful, the duplicitous. And so as soon as we understand our actual position, that we are extremely low and fallen, once we come to realize that, then the mercy is available to us. The mercy is meant for those who are fallen. But if we don't feel that we're fallen, if I'm not fallen, then we'll never get the mercy. The mercy goes down. And if we are up high on a mountain of pride, then we won't get that mercy, which is always coming down. Water always flows down, right? But water doesn't like go up. It's not the water is not going to go up the mountain of our pride. It's going to always flow down. So we have to be at the bottom, and then we'll get the mercy. Okay, so now we will read Śrīla Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja's biography about him. And this is from a website. I'll just type it here so you can see it. It's Śrīdhara. Wait, is it with an A at the end? Yes, it has an A at the end. So it's śrīdharavani.com. And it's a website just filled with things about Śrīla Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Maharaj, quotes and books, and just Śrīla Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Maharaj. Also doesn't have anything about Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govinda Maharaj. Just śrīdharavani.com. And I looked at the about page. Let me see. This was done by Trilokanath Prabhu and Kundalata Devi, disciples of Śrīla Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Maharaj. I don't know who they are. Maybe somebody here knows them, but anyways, this is their website. Okay, so His Divine Grace, Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja appeared in this world at midnight, Saturday, 10th October, 1895 AD, on the Navami Tithi, on the 9th lunar day during the Krishna Paksha, the dark moon fortnight of Damodar, of Kartik Mas, the lunar month. So Śrīla Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja's appearance date is 9 days into Kartik. He appeared under the same sign as Lord Ramachandra. Oh, that's probably how, I wonder if that has to do with how he got his name. Anyways, this occurred in an adherently religious, scholarly Smarta Brahmin family of the Radhiya class to Sri Yukta Upendra Chandra Dev Sharma Bhattacharya Vidyaratna and Srimati Gauri Bala Devi. His name took up more than one line. Sri Yukta Upendra Chandra Deva Sharma Bhattacharya Vidyaratna. Okay, so they named their son Ramendra. Sri Ramendra Chandra Dev Sharma Bhattacharya. He appeared in a small village named Hampaniya in the district of Burdwan, West Bengal, close to Sridham Navadip, India. Oh, I didn't know it was close to Navadip. That'd be fun to go there. I know they have a mott there. The illustrious family line of Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja, who became known affectionately as Śrīla Guru Maharaj, can be traced back to the sage called Rajashi Vatsya and is known as the Rajashi Vatsya Gotra. So his family line is the Rajashi Vatsya Gotra. On his father's side of the family, Śrīla Śrīdhara Mahārāja's grandfather's name was Sri Yukta Ram Gopal Dev Sharma. His great-grandfather's name was Sri Yukta Ramdham Dev Sharma, and his father was Sri Yukta Rajiv Lochan Dev Sharma. His father was Sri Yukta Mrityushjay Dev Sharma. His father, oh my God, they have the whole line here. His father was Sri Yukta, sorry, this is supposed to say Mrityunjay. And this is supposed to say Dhananjay, but there is a mistake here. So, yeah, Sri Yukta Dhananjay Dev Sharma. And his father was Sri Yukta Govinda Ram Dev Sharma. Śrīla Śrīdhara Maharaj was aware that Sri Yukta Ramdhan was a particularly outstanding scholar. The title Bhattacharya was peculiar to the line when they predominantly performed and taught religious sacrifices and worship. Porohitya. Sanskrit scholarship was predominant all through. In the line, many were also Brahminical spiritual masters with thousands of disciples. Śrīla Śrīdhara Maharaja's mother's family lineage was also Bhattacharya Brahman. Her father's name was Sri Yukta Radha Vallabha Bhattacharya from a place called Kaitan. There were a number of professions adopted in the line, including farming and land ownership. By the arrangement of the free will of fortune, the first child, a daughter of Śrīla Śrīdhara Maharaja's parents, did not live. So Ram Kavach, a protective mantra and amulet, was given to his mother for the protection of the next child. That is, himself. Śrīla Śrīdhara Maharaj was the first son. Then after him, the second son was Sri Yukta Manindra Chandra, after whom came the first daughter, Sri Yukta Jagadatri Devi. After her were two sons, Sri Yukta Satyendra Chandra, then Sri Yukta Amarendra Chandra. The last two children were the daughters of Sri Yukta Usha Rani Devi and Sri Yukta Ramarani Devi. Sri Yukta Ramarani Devi was a disciple of Śrīla Śrīdhara Maharaj, as also were Sri Yukta Jagadatri Devi, Sri Yukta Satyendra Chandra, and Sri Yukta Amarendra Chandra. So all his brothers and sisters became his disciples. Fascinating, huh? Śrīla Śrīdhara Maharaj recalls, I had a very good memory, especially in Sanskrit. I was taught a shloka in praise of Lord Shiva, and I could chant that by memory. When I was 1 year and 8 months old, my grandfather died, but I can't remember him. My earliest recollection is an earthquake. I was born in 1302 the Muhammad era, and 1304 in the month of Vaishak, where there was oh sorry, and in I guess 2 years after that, in the month of Vaishak, there was an earthquake. I was only a child then of 1 year and 8 months old or so. But I remember that. Oh my God. He could remember the earthquake when he was 1 year and 8 months. I remember the shaking of the earth. So many cows gathered, and so on. This is my first recollection. I remember when I was a young boy being carried on the shoulder of my father. Um, I remember, yeah, when I was a boy being carried on the shoulder of my father, there was going in the distance one Sankirtan party. Crying, I asked him to take me there. Anyhow, to console me, he took me there for some time and then came back. Then my first brother was born, and when I was 3. I remember the scene of the birth of my brother around August 1898. I can also remember when I reached the age of 5 and was engaged in studying writing, and I was given to my maternal uncle's house, and I was given to my maternal uncle's house. Many things before that I can remember as well. Srila Śrīla Maharaj stayed at his maternal uncle's house in Kaitangram for 3 years to attend the local Pathshala, the primary school. His intelligence was brilliant and his character most exalted. At school, he twice got double promotions and was always top of the class. During this period, one of his aunts taught him Ramayana and Mahabharata, as his tendency was always showing partiality with the orthodox section of Veda, Upanishad, etc. Oh, and Hare Krishna Bilva Mangal Prabhu and Shama Didi, Haribol. Haribol. Okay, so from childhood, he had an inborn aptitude for the Sanskrit language. Every year in Kartik month, his father used to read Srimad Bhagavatam in the Radha Krishna temple at Jagadanandapur, near Katwa. And at 9 or 10, he used to sometimes go with him, and the atmosphere in that temple seemed very mystical to him. Following the current system in India, at 9 years he attended high school at Okarsa, about 2 miles west of Hampania. As a student there in the debating club, he always sided with the ancient Shastric culture, and even the teachers could not defeat him. When he was a youth, Srimati Gauri Bala Devi, his mother, would cook many tasteful vegetable dishes for the family. But when Srila Śrīdhara Maharaj ate, his mother wept because he would only accept one vegetable, the bitter neem leaf prepared as a wet vegetable with rice. Okay, so that's Shukta, I think. Anyways, I don't know. He got his sacred thread in the family tradition when he was 14 years old. He received one book where it was mentioned that if we can go on with the chanting of Gayatri 432 times daily, we can achieve a very good spiritual improvement. He practiced that for some time with the understanding that Gayatri is conscious, spiritual, not dead words, and so tried his best to understand the revealed truth without consulting any dictionary or grammar, and used to feel some light coming from the words of Gayatri itself. Wow, this is when he was 14 years old. On his own, he would chant the Gayatri 432 times daily with so much sincerity and not just consulting any dictionary. He wanted to feel the light coming from the words of Gayatri himself. He used to feel the light coming. So, he gives a very, there's a famous explanation of the Gayatri mantra that Śrīla Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja, yeah. So, God, it's just amazing from the age of 14, chanting it 432 times daily. As a young lad, he unfailingly bathed every day in the Ganga at Dampal. Rising early before sunrise, he would walk there daily, 3 miles and back. He would also pick some lotus flowers from a natural reservoir and offer them every day to the Ganga and Lord Shiva. Once, when walking to Jamapur with a lotus flower in his hands for offering to the deity Buraraj, Lord Shiva, he had a sudden revelation of Vishvarup, the universal form. He passed matriculation, I don't know what that is, but matriculation, second division, and passed IA, the intermediate arts, in the first division from high school when he was 15 years old. He suffered a very dangerous bout of malaria for a whole year at this time. Wow. He could write Sanskrit verse before that, with more affinity for Lord Ramachandra than for Lord Krishna. That's interesting, huh? Srila Gurudev also had more affinity for Ramachandra than Krishna when he was growing up. When studying at the Krishnanath College at Behrampur in the district of Murshidabad, he met an astrologer at the Bahrampur railway station who requested to see his hands, and upon seeing it, remarked that 1. He would be fully realized. 2. He would become a famous preacher of Harikatha far and wide. And 3. He would depart the world at 93 years of age. Huh. Interesting. Because he did enter Nitya Leela at 93 years of age. All 3 predictions came true. The name of the astrologer was Yogi Vir Shri Barada Majumdar. He was the headmaster of Lal Gola High School, 7 stations down the line, about a 2-hour train ride from Baharampur. That school was founded by King Raja Yogendra Narayan Rao. The astrologer was also guru to the famous general of Bengal, Subhash Chandra Bose. Okay, so not any ordinary astrologer. Subhash Chandra Bose, he was like as big as Gandhi. Anyways, so then he was again admitted in that same college at Bahrampur, and as a 4th-year student, associated with a 1st-year student known as Suresh Bhattacharya. Suresh came from a Brahmin family in the village of Baje Praptpur in the district of Faridpur. The founder of Bharat Sevashram, Sri Pranavananda, was also from this village, as was Shripad Madhusudan Maharaj. I'm guessing this is a different Pranavananda, though, than Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. Yeah, because his name was, what was his name before? I forgot, actually. Anyways, but yeah, it's not Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. Okay. One day, while on a morning walk with Srila Śrīla Maharaj to collect twigs from the jungle to cleanse their teeth, Suresh Bhattacharya referred to his own father with the expression, "that gentleman." Srila Śrīla Maharaj protested that it was disrespectful for Suresh to use such a term for his respectful father. He said, "You say that gentleman? What is this?" Then Suresh said, "Yes, I have committed wrong. I should not have mentioned in that way in your presence. But ultimately, it is really so. Where was I in my previous lives? But really, it is like that. He was a gentleman, and it is only in this life that I have come in this house, and he has protected me for some time. And in the next life, I shall go to some other place. And in this way, we are moving hither and thither, coming to some gentleman, and from there to another gentleman." Srila Śrīla Maharaj says, so Srila Śrīla Maharaj recollecting, I guess, about this, he says, "Although I gave opposition, that point hit me very hard. That touched a fine chord in me, and I began to think, yes, it is true. We are in the midst of father, mother, brother, or as he said, that gentleman. What real connection have I with them? Are they with me? We are almost like strangers. Nobody can stay here, not the father, the mother, the brothers, or even this house. Everything is temporarily connected, and I am wandering in eternity. That sort of impression came in me in a very, very intense form, and the whole world became as vacant, as if it was just empty, fully empty. I felt a furious atmosphere with no shelter to take anywhere, a chaotic position, and I have no position of stability. Where from am I coming? Where to go? How long am I to stay here? This is a point in the infinite. I am an uncertain point. I am in an uncertain point in the whole of the infinite. A great shock came to me in this way, and that was the great turn in my life. Wow. A great shock came to me in this way, and that was the great turn in my life. That I am an uncertain point in the whole of the infinite. Srila Śrīla Mahārāja's friends were seeing he was indifferent to his books of study, seeing that worldly achievement has no lasting value, and so he couldn't concentrate on those books. So his friends would read to him the necessary literature, and with his acute hearing and very good memory, he was able to pass the exams and obtained a degree, a BA. He would read only Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, and found that his life, his future hope, everything was fully converted to the life and teachings of Sri Chaitanya Dev. Some of his classmates said that this was a wholesale massacre. Some of his classmates said this was a wholesale massacre. Very few could pass, but he did. Also that he did not study, but by the process of worshiping God, he has passed. His mother's family had some recognition of Sri Chaitanya Dev, but his paternal family were Orthodox Smarta Brahmins, worshippers of the Shakti or goddess, and logicians of the Nyaya school, and they hated the followers of Sri Chaitanya Dev. When he saw the wholesale conversion in his son, his father died shortly after, dejected and disappointed. His father had told him to marry and to fulfill his request. His father had told him to marry, and to fulfill his request, he remained in married life for 6 years. For 1 year, Srila Śrīdhara Maharaj led a life of abnegation. He never used an umbrella or shoes, and used nothing but one piece of cloth and a sheet, and used to do agricultural work and service to the cows. This is right after he gets married. He becomes a total vairagi. Doesn't even use an umbrella or shoes, only one piece of cloth and a sheet, and do service to the cows. Okay. Srila Śrīdhara Maharaj later studied law, but before completing those studies, he joined Mahatma Gandhi's non-cooperation movement in 1921 due to Gandhi's promise that within 1 year, I shall give Swaraj, I shall give independence to you. He joined temporarily because he wanted to become a sannyasi, but the countrymen wanted 1 year, so he thought that he must sacrifice this for them. He considered his fate was already tied with Mahaprabhu, and therefore could not give anyone his whole life's energy. He was posted as a secretary of the movement in Kalna, staying for about 2 or 3 years, and then later was wanted for service in Kolkata. After 6 years, the movement allowed him temporary leave. Isn't it, Śrīla Gosvāmī Mahārāja, when he was a youth, he joined Gandhi's party, but our Param Gurudev, Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Gosvāmī Mahārāja, he joined Subhash Chandra Bose's party, which is a lot more violent and aggressive. The natures are kind of like that also, though, isn't it? Śrīla Gosvāmī Mahārāja is more, Param Guru is always on the attack. Okay. So one day, while returning from the office, he found a placard. What's or placard? How do you say that? I think it's placard. It's a large or written notice that is put in a public place or carried on a stick in a protest march. Okay. Sorry, that's a basic word, isn't it? Anyways, one day while returning from the office, he found a placard in Chittaranjan Avenue near the Parishnath temple. It says, the Gaudiya Mat Mahotsav, grand festival for 1 month. The founder of Bharat Seva Ashram, Sri Pranavananda, was known to Śrīla Śrīdhara Mahārāja, and he tried his best to take him to his mission. But he flatly refused, saying, no, my head is already sold to Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He said, yes, I also recognize Gauranga Mahaprabhu to be the highest. But first it is necessary to follow the Vairagya, the indifference and renunciation of Buddha, then the discussion of the Vedanta of Shankar. And after that, the highest is the prem of Sri Chaitanya Dev. Without following each step, that prem would be misunderstood by the ordinary section. Śrīla Śrīdhara Mahārāja was pleased to hear him give such a position to Mahaprabhu, but put to him, Sri Chaitanya Dev did not say, if you want to come to me, come through Buddha and Shankar, and then to me. Rather, he said, wherever you are, you can take the name with the company of the sadhu, and in that way you will come to me. Sri Pranavananda became silent and was asked by Śrīla Śrīdhara Mahārāja that if they had any supernatural power, he would be grateful if he could tell them where his Gurudev is. Sri Pranavananda gave him the name of one gentleman, Haranath. He searched for him, but could not find him. It was then he found that placard and went to Gaudiya Mat. He found only one gentleman manning the outside hall, because the rest had all gone on the procession of Nagar Sankirtan. After a little talk with that gentleman, he found that these people representing the Mat had a deeper and more sound knowledge than he. They had a more sound knowledge than he had about Chaitanya Dev and other scriptures. Then the party came back from Nagar Sankirtan, and he saw Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in front with his danda. Jai Śrīla Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki jai. Śrīla Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja's first meeting with him ki jai. As soon as he reached the front of the mat, some disciple came and took the danda from him, and gradually he was received there. At first sight, he found that Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati's attitude was that of complete indifference to the ordinary world, not caring for anyone, being self-sufficient. He then began visiting regularly, and he was invited to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance ceremony at Mayapur. And this is all at number 1 Ultadanga Junction Lane. You'll see the Parishnath temple is right next to it, right? I'm pretty sure. Or is that the Jain temple I'm getting mixed up? I think it's the Parishnath temple. It's like just like a 2-minute walk away from there or something. There's a picture also of a big Nagar Sankirtan in front of that Parishnath temple, if I remember correctly, with Śrīla Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada and like a big procession. So I wonder if anyways, whatever. At that time, his mother was also inviting him to the village of Gumo, where she was staying with his second brother. She wanted to see him before going to Haridwar, and the Gaudiya Mat people were also inviting him to Mayapur. So he was in a dilemma. What to do? He wants to go to Mayapur for the Mahaprabhu's Gaur Purnima, but his mother's also wanting to see him before going to Haridwar. So Śrīla Śrīdhara Mahārāja recalls, it was my mother's call, and maybe the last. She might not live. Her health is not good. This was the call. And I thought, I want to take this side in my life. So this side must be given preference. That is, I avoided the call of my mother to see her, and I went to the Gaudiya Math instead. Wow, that was a real test, huh? While he was visiting regularly, this is similar to Param Gurudev also. His mother wanted to see him at the end one last time. And he also, um, right, we know that whole story, how he, was Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Anyway, so they had similar stories like that. While he was visiting regularly, he gradually came to realize that he wanted to stay in such gentlemanly and educated company. But new thoughts came to him as to why he couldn't. He cast his glance homeward. His father had gone. His mother and 3 younger brothers were still living. They wouldn't be affected much. But his wife would be affected. Suddenly, a thought came in his mind that if she dies, he would be free. That very day, when he returned home that night, he found that his wife was ill. And after 3 days, she passed away. His mother tried her best to have him married again, but she could not do so. Then, within 6 months, one of his brothers, Satyan, his mother, her sisters, and other pilgrims attended the Kumbh Mela in Haridwar, and at that time, his mother also disappeared from the world. Then, thinking he was free to visit the Math, he wanted to know as much as possible about the mission and the leader of the mission. He tried to go upstairs to where Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur stayed. But one Kirtanananda Brahmachari stopped him a little harshly. He said, "No, never. You must stay here in the waiting room. And when you find anyone, you will inform him. And when you find anyone, you will inform him who you want to meet. He will check. And when he returns with the answer, you can go. Otherwise, you must stay here. Never cross this threshold." Then Śrīla Śrīdhara Mahārāja thought, what should be the considerate nature of the sadhus? Why should there be any difference outwardly and inwardly? So he thought that he not need visit there again. But at that very moment, the position of Shukadev appeared in his mind. He had read in Mahabharata that Srila Vyasadeva sent Srila Shukadev Gosvāmī to Rajarshi Janak to finish his education or sadhan. Srila Shukadev came, and he was detained for 7 days at the outer gate. Then information went to Janak, who sanctioned him to pass. The next gate, he was again detained. In this way, there were 7 boundaries of the capital, and at each of the 7 gates, he was detained for 7 days. So for 49 days, he was detained before he could meet Janak. And so with this thought, Śrīla Śrīdhara Mahārāja concluded that if there is anything bad here, and they take me and put me onto the throne to worship me, I should not come here. And if there is real good, and they beat me with a broomstick, I must not leave. And he kept visiting. And I see it is 8 o'clock now, so I'm just going to finish reading this section, like this part, the story about his meeting with Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada for the first time, and then we will end our program for today. So then one day, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati was strolling on the roof after his afternoon prasadam, and Srila Śrīdhara Mahārāja approached and stood at a distance in the corner. After Srila Bhakti Siddhanta inquired through his attendant if he had anything to say, if he had something to ask, if he had some purpose in mind for visiting the Math, Srila Śrīdhara Mahārāja replied that his only purpose was to gain the grace of you all, nothing else but that. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati then approached him and inquired who he was, what he did, where was his home, and so on, saying how fortunate he was to be born in the area of Godamandal. Then one booklet they had printed was offered to Śrīla Śrīdhara Mahārāja, but he told the attendant he already had a copy of it, but was told, that does not matter. With his goodwill, He is giving this to you. So it is something else. He then took that on his head and accepted that book. That was the first talk with Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Okay, so we will end here for today. That's a great place to leave his first talk with Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, his first interaction with him. And tomorrow we will read the rest. We're only on page 16 of 66. So yeah, quite a bit more to read. All right, so Dandavat Pranams for anybody who needs to go to now. I always try to officially end this program at 8 o'clock. We went 3 minutes over. And then for anybody who's following us with this Chaturmasya program, we will now commence for the first day. We're beginning the Dvitiya Yam Sadhan. We've been doing the Pratham Yam Sadhan for 2 weeks now, and now we're going to be doing the Dvitiya Yam Sadhan for 2 weeks. And yeah, I've mentioned this many times, but just in case you're joining for the first time, this isn't this is a practice that you do at these specific times of the day. And so this program isn't really, we're not practicing this, we're just becoming familiar with it. We're trying to understand all the words and become familiar with it so that maybe during Kartik time, or when we're in the association of, advanced Vaishnavas, we will be able to follow this program. All right. So you can find this on my Jai Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai. I'm guessing it will probably take 2 more days to finish reading this biography. So now I'm going to my website, vineofdevotion.com. When you go here, now you'll see at the top of the page, it says Ashtayam Sadhan. So I just click there. I just did this last night. And you'll see here's Pratham Yam Sadhan, Dvitiya Yam Sadhan. Every 2 weeks, I'm going to update this before we start the program. So right now, when you go there, there's nothing there, but there will be soon. I just have to prepare them all. And I would, at some point, I want to do this. I wanted to do it last night, but then I just didn't get around to it. But I want to just go through the Pratham Yam Sadhan and recite it all through once so that it's like very quick. And then after I go through it once, then I want to go through and explain the meaning of all the words and all the verses and everything so that it'll just be there for anybody who wants to try to do this and they want to understand that, it'd be a helpful resource. I was thinking of doing that at the end of each session. I mean, at the end of each 2 weeks. So I'll let you know if I end up doing that. Okay, so Dvitiya Yam Sadhan. And we pray to Śrīla Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja. There's no way to perform this program without the mercy of Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, all of his associates, our Gurudevs, and all the Vaishnavas. It's only by their mercy that we have any entrance into this practice. So, Dvitiya Yam Sadhan. So now is Prata Kaliya Bhajan. So this is morning time. It's the first 6 dandas of the morning. So from 6 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. approximately. And this practice, or like this time of the day, and this verse of Shikshashtakam, this all represents Anartha Nivritti and Sadhu Sangha, right? So first we get Sadhu Sangha. After Shraddha, after we have some faith, then we can really begin associating with sadhus in a more true sense, when we actually have complete faith and we surrender to their words. And then they'll give us instructions, and so then we engage in bhajan kriya, the activities of bhajan. And when we do that, then anartha nivritti, the cessation of our anarthas takes place. So that is represented from this first time of the day, 6 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., which is right now, actually. Right now it's the pratakal, as I'm speaking this here. So Shri Shikshashtak, verse 2. This is my first time ever doing this, ever. Like this program. I've never recited this in my life. So, I mean, this whole thing. So. Nam namakari bahuda nija sarva shaktis tatrarpita niyamita smarane nakala etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi durdaiva medrishamiha janina nuraga. I'm not going to explain the meaning of all the words today because I want to become a little bit more familiar with it. So I'll do that again, maybe tomorrow or, anyways, over these 2 weeks, I'll be explaining a lot the meaning of all these words. But yeah, you have manifested all of your potency in your innumerable holy names. There are no restrictions on when they may be remembered. O Bhagavan, you are so merciful, but I am so unfortunate that spontaneous attachment, that anurag for your holy names, has not arisen within my heart. And now here are the verses from Antya Lila, chapter 20, verses 17 to 19. Chaitanya Charitamrita, on this second verse. Aneka lokera vancha, aneka prakar, kripate korilo anek namer prachar. The desires of the innumerable living entities are of infinite varieties. Therefore, out of compassion, Krishna propagated his countless names. Kaite shuite jatha tata namaloy, kaladesh niyam nahi sarva siddhi hoy. Whether eating, sleeping, or being in any situation, there are no restrictions of time, place, or rules in regard to chanting the name. Yet it bestows all perfection, bestows the perfection of bhakti. Sarva Shakti Name Dila Koriya Vibhag, Amar Durdaiva Name Nahi Anurag. The Lord has invested all his potencies in his names. But Amar Durdaiva, my misfortune, is that I have no attachment to them. Name Nahi Anurag. And now here is the Gitabali song. And I'm pretty sure I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure this song was sung when Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, when he entered Nitya-lila. This song was sung, and then Sri Rupa Manjari Pada, which was sung by Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Śrīla Gosvāmī Mahārāja sang this Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. So this is like a very special song. Let's read the translation first, and then we'll sing it. So you are an ocean. This is by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his Gitabali. So you are an ocean of mercy. To deliver the living beings, you have brought and taught your innumerable holy names. You have invested your full potency in your holy names and have made no restrictions regarding time or place. The touchstone of Sri Nam is equal to you. You have distributed this treasure house of mercy throughout the entire creation. Such is your supremely magnanimous compassion, O Lord. But my luck is extremely poor. My anurag, this intense affection for Sri Nam, has never awakened. Thus, the heart of Bhakti Vinod is overcome with sorrow. Toho daya sagara tarayite prani namaya nekatua shikhaoliani sakala shakati de name tohara prahane Rakhilo nahi kala vichara Shri Nama Chintamani Tohari Samana O Vishwe Bilaoli Karuna Nidana Tua Daya Aichana O Paramayudhara Atishay Mandhanata Bhaga hamara nahi janamalo name anuragamora bhakati vinora chitta dukhe vibhora o bhakati vinora chitta dukhe vibhora. Okay, now we come to the Bengali verses that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote for. I think these verses were from Hari Bhakti Vilas, and then Srila Bhakti. I have to look again, but I think it's Hari Bhakti Vilas, and then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote all these Bengali verses based on those verses. So I guess I'll read the translation and then read the verse. That's what I'll do this time. So, a one-pointed devotee engages only in kirtan and remembrance, smaran and kirtan of Sri Hari. He has no taste for other pursuits and does not involve himself in them. Ekanta bhaktir matra kirtana smaran, anya parve ruchi nahi hoy pravartan. He serves Sri Krishna with heartfelt emotion, with bhav, bhaver sahit. And gradually, his natural spontaneous devotional mood, the swarasiki bhav, becomes awakened and intensified. Bhaver sahita hoy Shri Krishna sevan, swarasiki bhav krame hoy uddipan. And swarasiki, this is a difficult word to translate. It's one of those impossible words to translate, actually. Anyhow, I had a very difficult time with this in the Siddhi Lala sasangs. Ekanta bhaktir kriya mudra ragodita tathapi sheshab nahe vidhi viparita. Sorry, I forgot to read the translation. So, though the actions and expressions of a one-pointed devotee arise from deep spontaneous love, they are nonetheless not opposed to scriptural injunctions. This is a very important point. Because lots of times people just think, oh, this rag marg bhajan, this, spontaneous love, no rules and regulations, and it's just all free and like that. But no, they are nonetheless not opposed to the scriptural injunctions. Though the actions and expressions of a one-pointed devotee arise from deep spontaneous love, they are nonetheless not opposed to scriptural injunctions. Even if one gives up everything else, it is extremely difficult to renounce the desire for name and fame, this pratishtasa. One who is mature and experienced will strive diligently to give it up. Sarva tyaga korileo chara sukhatin pratishtasa tyage jatna paibe praveen. At dawn and the dead of night, at dawn and the dead of night, at midday and at dusk, one should abandon all anarthas and take shelter of the holy name. Prabhate gobhir ratre madhyahne sandhyay anartha chadiya lo namir ashray. Whoever performs kirtan and smaran in this way quickly receives Krishna's mercy and easily crosses over the ocean of material existence. Ei rupe kirtana smarana jai kore Krishna kripa hoy shigra anayase tare. By chanting Krishna's name with faith, with Shraddha, in the association of saints, sadhu sangha, all anarthas are destroyed and firm determination, nishta, arises. So this is the second verse of Shikshashtak, and this is Prata Kaliya Bhajan. This is going from Shraddha was first Nishanta, then Prata Kaliya Bhajan is Sadhu Sangha and Anartha Nivritti. And then in the next section is Trinada Pisunichena. That will be Nishta. That's the next time period of the day. It's Nishta. But this is the way to come to Nishta. Okay, so at dawn, one should meditate upon Krishna's eternal pastimes, the Nitya Lila, through continual contemplation. This meditation becomes the means of cultivating and establishing one's devotional mood, one's bhav. Pratakale nitya lila koribe chintan, chintite bhaver hoibe sadhan. Did I read this verse? I think I did, right? Shraddha kori saru sange Krishna namaloy anartha shakal jai nishta upajai. Pratakale nitya lila koribe chintan, chintite bhaver hoibe sadhan. And now we come to this verse from Govinda Lilamrita. This is the last verse in this chapter of Bhajanahasya. This is Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. He explains this time, the pastime for this time period of the day. Radham snata vibhushitam vrajapayahutam sakhi prage targehe vihitana pakarachanam krishnavasheshashanam krishnam buddham avaptadenu sadhanam nirvyudagdohanam susnatam krita bhojanam sahacharais tang chashraye. Okay, so I looked at this. It's pretty simple, the meaning, I think, the meaning of the Sanskrit. I might make some mistake because this is my first time ever trying to explain it. But so prage means in the early morning. So this time period from 6 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Shri Radha, she takes bath, and then vibhushitam, and she gets dressed, she's adorned with ornaments and everything, various ornaments. And then ahutam. Ahutam means she is called, she is summoned, she is called by Vrajapaya, Vrajapa, and Vrajapaya means by the Vrajapa. So that means the queen of Vraj. Or actually, Pa is like, Gopa, and there's Gopi. And there's a commentary that explains it. Anyways, we'll go through the commentary later on, but it says that it's Pa because it's in relation to Krishna, that she is, Krishna is a protector of Vraj, and she is I don't know, something about her relation to Krishna. But so she's the protector of Vraj, the queen of Vraj. So Radha is called by the queen of Vraj through the Sakibi in the early morning. And Tad Gehe, so in the home of that Yashoda, Vihitana Paka Rachanam. She God, what's Vihita? Vihita, she gathers everything. I don't know. And Anna Paka Rachanam. She cooks the food. She prepares the anna, the food by cooking. And Krishna Avashesha Ashanam. She eats, Ashana means she eats the avashesh, the remnants of Krishna. Okay, so that's what Srimati Radhika is doing at this time at Prage, or at this Pratakal, this time of the day. And now what's Krishna doing at this time of the day? Krishnam Buddham. Buddham means he awakens. And Avapta Dhenu Sadanam. Avapta means he reaches, Dhenu means cow, Sadanam means the residence, the Goshala. So Krishna wakes up and what does Krishna do first thing when he wakes up? Even before bathing or anything, he gets up and then he goes to the Goshala, the cow shed, the cow residence, cow house. And then Nirvyuda Go Dohanam. And then he completes Dohanam. Dohanam means to milk, milking the goat, milking the cows. And then after that, after he finishes milking the cows, Nirvyuda means finish, he accomplishes that. Then susnatam, then he is nicely bathed. And krita bhojanam, and then he eats sahacharais with his friends. He eats breakfast with all of his cowherd friends. And then this verse says tam means to her, to to her, cha, and tung, cha, and to him. So to her and to him, ashraye. I take shelter. I take shelter of her and of him. First, he takes shelter of Srimati Radhika, and then he takes shelter of Krishna after that. Doesn't take shelter of Krishna before he takes shelter of Srimati Radhika. And I saw in the commentary that it says cha twice because it's saying that Krishna and Srimati Radhika, none is like, Srimati Radhika is not inferior to Krishna. She's on the equal level. So he has cha for both. Cha means and. So I take shelter of her and of him. Now, this is Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's song on this verse. Radha snata vibhushita Shri Yashoda samahuta Saki shange tar grihe gamana Tatha pakavira Shri Krishna Vasheshashana Madhye Madhye Duhara Milana. So Shri Radha, bathed and adorned, is called for by Shri Yashoda. Accompanied by her Sakis, she goes to Yashoda's house. There she cooks and takes Shri Krishna's remnants. From time to time, she and Krishna meet. Madhye Madhye Duhar Milan. Krishna Nidra Parihari Goshte Godohana Kori Snana Shana Sahachara Sange E Lila Chinta Koro Nama Preme Gara Gara Prate Bhakta Jana Sange Range. So Shri Krishna, having given up sleep, goes to the cow pasture, not the cow pasture, it'd be like the cow shed. Anyways, doesn't matter. He goes to the goshta. Okay, goshta also means cow pasture. Okay, fine, go pasture is fine. He goes to the cow pasture and milks the cows. Then, along with his companions, he bathes and takes his meal. Meditate on this lila, becoming overwhelmed with prem through Nam Sankirtan. In the early morning, relish this in the joyful company of devotees. So we do this in the company of devotees. Bhakta Jana Shange Range. E lila chinta ar koro sankirtana achire paibe tumi bhava uddipana. Meditate on this lila and engage in sankirtan. Very soon, you will experience the awakening of deep devotional feeling. Bhav udipan, this bhav will awaken within you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Shri Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gan Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Jai Shri Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Vinod Thakur's Bhajan Rahasya Ki Jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Par ki jai. His Chaitanya Charitamrita and Govinda Lilamrita ki jai. Jai Jagat Guru Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. All of his associates ki jai. Jai Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Tadiya Shubha Tiravav Titi ki jai. Jai Shri Harinama Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devai, Priyai Keshavashacha, Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi, Satyavatai Namo Namaha, Vancha Kalpatarubhyashcha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam, Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranams, dear devotees, Niri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Nitai Mukeshji, Champak Mataji, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, and on YouTube and Facebook. I see. Oh, my father is there, and my mother. I'm guessing. Haribo, mom and dad. Pranams to you both. Also, let's see. Raseshwari Mataji, Indira Mataji, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Ganga Mataji, Patita Pavani Didi. I'm guessing maybe Krishna Mai Didi is there. Bilva Mangal Prabhu and Shama Didi, his wife, Shama Didi, Haribo. And who else? I'm just looking really quick on. Also, I forgot to mention at the beginning, all the devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi and Jayadev Prabhu and Revati Didi, Manjari Didi. And I'm just seeing if here on Facebook I can see the names. Maybe Shripad Bhaktivedanta Sajan Maharaj is there? Okay. Anyhow, I'm really sorry. I think Chandrika Didi and Kalindi Didi, and I don't know who else is there. Anadi Krishna Prabhu. Oh, you're already here. Anyways, Dandavat Pranams, everybody who's joining. Thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow to read the rest of Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja's very interesting biography. Oh, and Hare Krishna Vinod Katuria. Hare Krishna. Is there anything anybody wants to mention before I end today's stream? Okay. See you all tomorrow.